I'm here with Wausau Mayor Robert Mielke for another edition of
Good morning.
Mayor's Monday on WSAU.com. Mayor Mielke, it's been quite some time since we caught up. I think we were going to catch up a little bit before the holiday, but things wound up getting swapped around.
I ended up having knee surgery, and so I was out for about a week or so, and back at him again, that type of thing. The wonders of medical science, if you want to call it that. And so here I am today.
Good to have you back.
Thank you.
Let's start off with a very recent announcement from the city. The city council has and the legal council, you've decided to continue forward with the lawsuit against the Village of Maine. I guess I wanted to know why you decided, what prompted you to put out that press release, what prompted you to make that decision public or say something about it when you did.
Well, basically, one, the public has a right to know. Two, and in chatting with the council, it was almost unanimous again. Remember, I'm the one working with the council. And once again, I do not like a fight with my neighbors. That's stated based on principle, based on facts and things going on, and that frankly the council did not agree with the judge's decision. There's some, I'm not a lawyer by any means, but there's some I'm trying to think of the right word, things that are open for debate, and the council wanted to pursue this further to see it to a conclusion as far as the appeals process. And now once again, for those that might want to get mad at me, yeah, technically I guess I could veto it, but two things. One, I'm probably going to be overridden on that by the council because they want to see this move forward. And two, I have to work with these individuals. So we will see it through.
This may not be too soon of a question to ask,
Sure.
but let's say here in Marathon County that the case doesn't go Wausau's way. I mean, are they this committed to it that they would want to take it to the state level?
At that point, I guess everything's open. It depends on what happens, but I will state publicly, I would like to see this completed, finished. The olive branch is always there. I have tried on numerous occasions. Unfortunately, when the lawyers really get involved, it's a whole different ballgame to reach out to our neighbors. I will still continue to do so in any way, shape, or form. But I guess we'll see what happens after the appeals decision here in the district. That's just really too early for me to answer on. But as I said before numerous times, I would like to see a resolution to this, and hopefully a peaceful resolution where everybody could benefit. Everybody could have benefited in the first place. You know, this is something I kind of inherited. I say this respectfully, I'm surprised at how long it's taken and the cost involved. There's a lot of different variables involved, and there's just no easy answer. And that's where we're at.
Moving on, there were some logistic holdups with getting the floor plan for the new Micon Cinemas theater to replace the old Sears building attached to the mall. But it seems like we have a floor plan that everyone's
Correct.
agreed to now. Do you have any kind of update as to when they're going to start construction on that building?
I am hoping before the end of summer. I know that we were kind of hoping for it earlier this summer. Took a little bit longer time involved because there's more details to work out as far as that floor plan with the mall owners, and that gets done with receivership, I guess, next Wednesday, which is why we're making a determination, probably an announcement after that time, after we find out what's going on as far as exactly who's owning the establishment, if you will, as far as the Wausau Center. And I want to point this out because a lot of residents think that we at the city control the Wausau Center, we dictate or we put financial money into it. We haven't, not since I've been in office. That is owned privately, and as far as who owns it afterward, I really don't know. I could take a guess, but I'm not going to get into all that. I can't give you a direct answer as far as what's going to happen. I do know it's a process, a drawn-out process as far as receivership, that type of thing. When it got put in foreclosure, as part of the process, it takes time. So that's where we're at right now. But at this point, the theater is still on schedule, if you will, as far as getting started this summer.
The Vietnam-era fighter jet that was near the VFW was recently moved over to Alexander Airport Park, and they're going to be installing that after the balloon rally.
Correct.
That's really a pretty interesting example of citizen action, of
That's
people
probably
coming
the
together.
best example, and
Yeah.
I love that neighborhood group, and I'll give you the reason why, because there's some neighborhood groups in town, you've got one or two leaders that make things so deliberately personal and political. That group does not. Do they want to hear from their elected leaders? Yes, but they are without question respectful. This is an initiative that they took upon themselves with very little help from the city. Obviously we had to go through the procedures and process from the Air Force and everybody to get that done and taken care of. But that was just, to me, a perfect example of good government and good neighborhood groups relation. That's what those groups are for, not all the craziness that some of these people like to try to have. A perfect example, a wonderful example of people coming together, working together in a civilized, respectful, decent, honest manner. Hence the reason why we're going to be having an addition, and we're going to be doing some remodeling. The neighborhood, the Southeast Park. It's going to be great. And I wish everything could be like that, as smooth. They've got wonderful leadership over there. Perfect example of the way things should be.
Now, you had a little fun at the, I think it was Schulenburg Pool? Kaiser Pool.
I've been to all three openings, the last two as mayor.
When they opened up the pool for, after they made renovations to it, you took the water slide. In the past, we've even seen Facebook video of you volunteering to be tased by the local police
department. What that shows is I get very involved in the community. I'm told that all the time. In the summer here, I've got something, well, not even in the summer, just about every night. I am very much involved. Think about it. I'm the ambassador, the biggest cheerleader for the city. Be it involved for community events, be it involved in trying to get businesses or other entities involved and want to come to Wausau. I figure that's my job. And most days I genuinely enjoy it and love it. The only thing that was kind of bad with Kaiser, there was one where, okay, we need a little more water pressure, but when you're mayor, stupid stuff like that is going to happen. So be it. I can laugh at myself, but no, that's my job. I'm here to promote Wausau in a positive way, any way I can. It makes for some very long days and long work weeks. But that's part of the job, is what I signed up for, and on most days I absolutely enjoy doing it.
Speaking of the summer, and this will be my last question for you.
It's already halfway gone.
Exactly, but the 4th of July celebration, around central Wisconsin is usually a pretty big event. Stevens Point, Wisconsin Rapids, they have very large fireworks shows that they actually, they get donations from the public, but Stevens Point even puts public money into their fireworks display at Riverfront Rendezvous. I know that Wausau's fireworks display and Wausau's celebration, I'm not even sure how closely affiliated with the city it actually is.
We do help out, a monetary amount. They've asked for help in the past, and it varies from year to year. Truthfully, it has been dwindling the last few years, but the city does contribute through our room tax commission, and they make a request when it's due, and so we try to get some funds set aside for help with that celebration. The good news is, you've got other entities, like say the Woodchucks and Mark McDonald, who's just absolutely a wonderful community partner, Ryan Troy. They put on a great fireworks show, not just on the 4th of July, but several times throughout the year. You've got Wausau area events coming up this weekend at the airport. They're going to have a great fireworks show. So, yeah, I know every community is different, and I've got to prioritize, if you want to call it that. Yes, we do help out with the 4th of July celebration. It's always open for interpretation from somebody as to how much, but in answer to your question, yes, we do help out. But these other entities that do stuff like that, that's just one of those things that make Wausau so cool and unique.
So you would be you're comfortable with how things are now, because I think that a little, and this could just be me projecting.
I mean this sincerely. This is the first year. Last year we did not have a fireworks celebration due to the weather conditions as far as the wind. And I think what a lot of people forget, when they rebuilt the grandstand, and I'm not being critical of anybody, but when they rebuilt the grandstand, they made it move it closer into the infield at Marathon Park. And for whatever reason, we have to be more cautious with trees, with neighbors and businesses around that, and especially if it's hot, it could pose a fire danger or the embers or whatever. And the fire marshal makes a determination at that time. This year, everything went off great. From what I understand, it was a good show. People could see it. That's where we're at with that, as far as the city of Wausau. First of all, safety is like everything else involved. Public safety is going to come first. I'm just glad on a personal level that this year the fireworks went off, because I can understand people's disappointment in years past that you're sitting out there trying to get a good seat up on the hill trying to watch and it doesn't come off, especially with no announcements. I can understand the frustration and disappointment with that. That did not happen this year. It was a good night for the 4th of July. And honestly, that's one of those things I can't control. I can't control the weather, although I'm sure some people think I can.
I know I said one more question, but
Sure.
I do have one more
Go ahead, fire away.
question, if you will.
That's why I'm here, Zach.
This coming
I love
weekend,
talking to the public.
This coming weekend, it's the biggest weekend
It
in the
sure
city of
is.
Wausau. The Rib Fest, Balloon Rally, and Chalk Fest taking place at the airport that we were talking
Correct.
about.
Come and
before,
see me.
in
I'll be
downtown
eating ribs
Wausau.
and judging it.
You'll be eating the ribs, okay.
And after that, I swear to God, I'm going on a diet. I have to. The doctor has said. So.
My question to you would be, what is your favorite part of that weekend?
One, I love that community aspect, and that's a big draw, especially down there by the airport, the Chalk Fest. Once again, different events and Wausau area events does such a great job in promoting that stuff. It's another thing that makes our area unique. You see so much participation and so much involvement, just people coming to see what's happening through the downtown at the 400 block with the Chalk Fest, different music and stuff like that going on. And if somebody wanted to, there's things going on all the time down in Wausau, especially in the summer. I know last night I was out for last week for First Thursdays, and then every Wednesday for the 400 block, I was out there helping the fire department collect with the rubber boot for muscular dystrophy, and I think we raised a little over $2,000 or so. And it's stuff like that, going back to what I said before. I do consider that part of my job an obligation, which may not even be the right word, but I should be out there and I show that public face, interact with folks. But going back to what you said as far as a different celebration, yeah, it's huge. There will be free bus service as far as, it's a fare. You could drive from downtown to the airport, whatever, get a bus ride. Something else that we're trying to do as far as to drum up more interest and support for transportation. But that is a huge event, and the balloons and everything like that. It's just another event that makes Wausau so cool and so unique. And stuff like that, it isn't just me. You've got so many people working hard to promote a good, positive, fun type of event, good for families and everything like that. How can anyone say no and say it's a bad thing?
Absolutely.
You will find one or two, trust me, but just the same. I kind of kid when I say that, but it's just something that's another positive, great thing about here in Wausau, and I will always stress that.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, sir.